If a lot of people don't take you seriously at work, it's probably not because you lack confidence, but that's what a lot of people assume. They need to speak more strongly. They'll assume they have to be more assertive. They'll assume they'll have to be and sound more sure of themselves and look less hesitant. And sometimes, yes, confidence helps, but confidence on its own is not the same thing as credibility. So at work, credibility matters more because confidence can make an impression. But at work, the proof is in the pudding. People don't judge you by how you sound, but whether what you say actually holds up. And credibility makes people trust your judgment. This is a very different thing. You have probably seen this before. So sometimes speaking very confidently in a meeting, somebody, they sound certain, they sound polished. They sound like they know exactly what they're doing and what they're saying. However, later, people quietly realize they don't fully trust them. Why? Why is that? Because credibility is not built by how sure you sound. It is built by whether your word, judgment, and your behavior holds up over time. And that is what people are really watching. Can this person be relied on? Can I rely on you? Do you understand what matters? Do they follow through? Do they speak with substance? Do they handle responsibility well? And that's what people are really watching. That is credibility. And one of the reasons this matters so much is that confidence is visible, but credibility is cumulative. It accumulates. Confidence can be seen in 5 seconds, very easy, here. And that's also a big one, being seen as confident. It's not small at all. But credibility is built in blocks and time, in blocks. And those blocks have to be built. And that is why early in your career, it can be confusing. You might look around and think, maybe I just need to sound more confident. But often that is not the real issue. Sometimes the issue is that you are trying to fix trust with presentation. And trust does not work like that. So imagine 2 people, okay? 2 people in a team. The first person speaks really well. They contribute often, they sound self-assured, but they overstate things, miss details, and do not always follow through. But the second person is less polished, maybe even a bit quieter. But when they speak to you and to the team, it is through thought, thoroughly. So, it's thought thoroughly, so it's thorough what they are saying and deep thinking. They commit. It happens. What they say, then it translates into action and it actually happens. When something is unclear, they ask a good question. When something goes wrong, they communicate early. Over time, who do you think people will trust more? It's obvious, isn't it? The second person, usually. Not because they are more impressive, because they are more credible. That is one of the most important professional shifts to understand. So at work, people do not just respond to your energy and your action. They respond to evidence. That action you are doing has to give results. And those results will be the evidence. And that evidence is credibility. And that credibility is evidence. Does that make sense? It feeds each other. So evidence, for example, I'll state 3. Evidence that your judgment is sound. Evidence that your contribution has weight. Evidence that other people can build around you in a team. Are you doing it? That is why credibility often becomes more important as the stakes get higher. In lower stake situations or roles, confidence can carry quite a lot. But in serious work, where timings matters, details matter, deadlines matter, consequences matter, credibility becomes much more important. Because when something important is moving, people want substance. They want someone whose words mean something. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. Why do they get stuck? Because they think confidence is the missing piece, when really what they need is stronger professional substance. Yes, you need confidence, but that confidence alone is not enough. You need that substance behind you, that thought, that depth, to provide that evidence that will give you credibility. Not fake certainty. We're not talking about fake certainty. What I'm talking about is not a more polished version of anxiety, real credibility. That's what I'm talking about. And real credibility usually comes from a few things. So I'm going to name 5 of them for you. How real credibility comes. 1, you think clearly. No brainer. You have to think clearly. Then after that one, when you've got a clear mind and clear thoughts and you've understood what you're going to say and you've understood the problem, you've understood the task that you've got in hand. Secondly, you speak carefully. Third, you do what you said you would do. And fourth, you do not overclaim. Fifth, you do not create doubt around yourself. Don't create doubt around yourself. And that last one matters a lot. It does matter a lot. Because credibility is not only built by doing good work. It is also, and this is very important, it's damaged when people sense exaggeration, you're exaggerating, inconsistency, or performance without depth. You are performing, but there's no substance, there's no depth. If this is resonating with you or echoing with you, comment below. What makes someone feel credible to you at work? I'll repeat that one. What makes somebody feel credible to you at work? Because most people recognize credibility when they feel it, even if they have never properly named it. So if you haven't named it, but you felt it, that's where it is. And one of the strongest signs of professional maturity is that you stop asking, how do I come across? That's not what you want to be asking. And start asking, why should people trust what I am saying? Why should people trust what I'm saying? And eventually, what I'm doing? That is much a better question. Because it moves away from the image towards substance, what I said before. And that is where credibility starts growing. So you want to grow that credibility, as I said before, block by block, in time and over time. It grows when your communication matches reality. You communicate and reality. Your confidence level matches your actual understanding. When your behavior creates consistency, steadiness. When people can see that you're not trying to sound more solid than you really are. Ironically, I would say, that often makes you seem solid. Because people trust groundness. They trust accuracy. They trust who does not need to oversell themselves. And this is when I think, and why, credibility is often quieter than confidence. When and why? When, because you're doing a task, it's needed, and you're presenting the results, so you need that credibility. It does not always dominate the room, that's obvious. And it does not always sound the most certain, and that's obvious too. But is it obvious? No, it's not. You have to see it. You have to experience it. But it carries a lot of weight. Because over time, people realize this person is thoughtful, reliable, and real. And that is who people want to work with. Who do you want to work with? people that are reliable, people that you can trust, people that they've got credibility, people that are taken seriously. So yes, confidence has its place, but if you're focused only on sounding more confident, you might be working with the wrong thing. So better questions, I would say probably 3. Yeah, three of them. Judgment. So do people trust my judgment? Ask yourself. Do people know that I hold up my words? So do I hold up my words? Does my behavior create confidence in me over time? In me. So in yourself. Does that create confidence over time? Because confidence might help you to get attraction, but credibility is what helps you keep trust. And that's what's going to be the trust. People have to trust you. And trust makes what your professional reputation stronger. And clarity is the beginning. Practice is what makes and creates change. If you're early in your career and you want to build real credibility at work and you want to work with me, I offer the private mentorship, and you will find the link below.